Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Fed Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is August 26, 2024, and today is Monday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, we're watching the major pairs really holding on to their gains from last week versus the US dollar and shifting over to the economic news. Nothing scheduled, but as the week progresses, we've got a lot of important events still unfolding. Now looking at the Forex symbols, we're watching the Turkish Lira trade to new lows versus the US dollar and looking at the indices. The Dow Jones and the NASDAQ have a nice rally on Friday. Now, let's see if they can extend that throughout the week. And when we look at commodities, gold has a nice rebound with oil extending its gains. Now, shifting over to stocks, JP Morgan back on its highs, and NVIDIA, ahead of its quarterly earning reports this Wednesday, has a nice rebound. Now, lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin gains as well. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Euro USD, as it extended its gains, and this is something I was really worried about. I was concerned that it would have right away a sell-off, and we would find ourselves below our 200-day moving average. Now, as long as we can extend this a little bit longer, just to show us that there's some strength here in the euro, we can sustain this above this 1170-ish level for the euro. Now, looking at the GBP USD, it extended its gains once again to 132. We got to look at it on a longer time frame to really appreciate how far we've come back from the brinks. Just 2 years ago, almost we were trading at parity, 1-to-1 for the dollar versus the GBP. Now, looking at the Australian dollar, also at the top of its range, but you can see it didn't extend the range like the GBP did. So that's an important note to make of it. Now, lastly, looking at Turkish Lira, making new lows once again to 33.97. Inching itself closer to 35, okay? Yes, it first has to do 34 before it does 35, but the point is that that's the next resistance level at 35, so just be aware of that. Now, looking at the commodities, gold rebounds above 2,500 or 25.19, just shy of our all-time record highs at 25.30-ish level, and looking at crude oil, also bouncing nicely off of that support level. That's just a simple trade. At 75.55. Now looking at the Dow Jones, we're extending our gains here from Friday. Now we've got a few things coming up this week that are super important, and that might add some weight onto the Dow Jones. And if we looked at the NASDAQ, it did rebound, but not like the Dow Jones did. So when we look at a stock like JP Morgan, it came back to life to 218, and it's just it's there. It's at its all-time record highs actually. And lastly, let's take a look at NVIDIA, as that also rebounded tremendously, only about 6 points of our all-time record highs. But if you look at Microsoft, no, it went down. So we're seeing a little bit of divergence in the market. We're seeing the tech stocks actually be weaker and the traditional stocks actually gain here as the market is retracting. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, does push ahead, did join the bandwagon with everybody else, moving the markets higher to 63K, and that's where we're settling right now, just midpoint of that. Okay, still a very choppy market. We didn't really break any resistance or supportish level, so it's just, it's still in I would say in a range, okay? It's a much larger range, but yes, it's still a range between 53 and 69K. I hate to say that, but that's just the reality of where we are right now with Bitcoin. This is Fed Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.